remember coming here as a kid and coming to gigs and coming to, I hate to say it, foam parties. And it's just inspirational that they've managed to save it and that they've kept it safe for everybody in the future.
Shouldn't be in this state. It's just decaying, and the joy that it brought to everyone is behind locked doors. We're not seeing the benefit of it, and we're not experiencing the St James as we should be.
The theatre has been subject to huge concern, consternation, debate in our community for a number of years.
You know, in saying that, it's also one of the largest heritage projects in New Zealand. There wouldn't be too much bigger than this.
It didn't surprise me. I thought it was going to be quite a big effort to engineer any sort of rehabilitation or restoration of this. But we're at the point now where there seems to be a realistic possibility.
This is the big day, you guys. We a bit nervous?
A little bit nervous, yes, and naturally so.
How are you feeling, Steve?
Yeah, nervous is a good description, and I'm just excited to get the project out there in the public arena. You know, we've had to keep quiet for so long that I think it's great to finally be able to deliver the good news. Although we own the building, Aucklanders feel that they own the building, and look, I think we were under certain pressure to make sure that we deliver on it, and I'm confident we will. Whether we keep all parties happy is yet to be seen.
I mean, what's the condition of the whole building?
I think the core, the base condition is excellent. It's obviously a solid building. There has to be some work to bring it up to today's standards for seismic work. That will be one of our principal goals for the main reopening. And I'm sure with Mike's help with the development, the apartment building adjacent to it, it'll actually really help the project. This is the new apartment tower that we're building on the adjacent site to the theatre. You can see the original St James Tower there that we will restore. Part of it's missing, part of it's still there, and part of it's hidden behind a facade. So we'll restore that as part of the works. And this is a podium level that we've put in to step the building back from Queen Street. So that our new structure is like an L around the theatre, and the tower itself is actually only on the Queen Street frontage side of it. So the theatres that are being demolished are the Regent Theatre along Queen Street, which was built in the 60s, and then we've got the slightly older Odeon and West End. The Mayor's actually been really supportive, so he's given us some resources to really get the project moving, and it's been really helpful.
This is a wonderful historic day for Auckland. I for a start want to acknowledge the Lee family for their investment in this property and the potential investment that they'll make in the apartment block, but in particular the preservation of this facility, this beautiful theatre, and the Trust will be absolutely involved with Mr Bealby and his Trust as we move forward to conclude its preservation.
Thanks for that. We're thrilled to be a part of saving this theatre, and although we'll be involved with the development of the entire site, our main interest is with the theatre itself.
I'm pleased to say that development of the apartment tower, retail precinct and car park spaces has already been fully consented by Auckland Council, and we expect to begin preliminary sales of the apartments early in the new year, with construction aimed for the latter half of next year.
What was the original town?
Okay.
What was it meant to be?
Right.
So that'll interest you.
It wasn't meant to be a 40-storey apartment.
No, it wasn't.
It's a lot of work, wouldn't it?
It's beautiful as it is. So there are a few things that I saw. As far as the St James was concerned, I could see it opening again. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I knew, this was not going to die. So I really did have this vision that one day it would open. Then I thought, well, if you've got the vision, you've got to do something about it. So we started the St James Saviours, which really was a group of real enthusiasts. Some people will be using it, the ballet and the opera company, amongst others, real enthusiasts of the St James, really to just, if you like, lobby to get the theatre open. And we were really lobbying, I guess, to the council to buy it. And then I went a step further because I thought, well, yes, it's got to be restored, and it probably will cost a fair bit of money to do that. And we do want to restore it to the best possible level that we can, back to its former glory. And so we formed a trust, a charitable trust, which is giving us the ability to raise funds to pay for some of the restoration. So that's where we're at the moment.
What's your thought with the rate? Because there are sort of two schools of thought. That if you have it flat, you can use it for other things. Whereas if you have a rake, it's stage and screen.
Yeah, I guess all the reports, obviously, I guess the modern way with theatres is now flat. So they can be multi-users, could be a cabaret dinner, or it could be all sorts of things.
But they rate the seating.
No, so you can bring in seating, and the seating can be raised. It's and you go dedicated one way or the other.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Do you want an extra torch? I'll stay out here. There's an extra torch.
Oh,
there.
thank you.
That's down the green room.
Green rooms, dressing rooms. With that real theatre smell.
Does it ever?
So this is the room that we actually, we spoke to the caretaker about. There was actually a homeless lady living in here, and she brought a heater in and everything. We haven't touched it. This is literally how she had it.
She had it.
And apparently she kept the other homeless people out.
Yes, this is my domain.
Yeah.
Just see it.
How long ago was that?
This was before us, so I didn't get a time off. And